With the first 60 players of the top 100 list, I thought of 7 players that should be higher on the list and 7 players that should be lower on the list. So to start off, I'm going to start with the players that should be higher. My number one guy was Malcolm Butler. I thought that he is a true number one corner. I think he's in the top 10, top 5 of the best corners in the league. And he's one of these guys that does play very close to the receiver at times. Now, when it comes to his interceptions and all that, I'm not overly impressed by it. But when it comes to him relying on him and on a clutch play and just overall just tracking the receiver, he's great at it. My next guy is Dante Hightower. Dante Hightower has actually been the Super Bowl hero in the past 2 Super Bowls that the Patriots won. In this last Super Bowl, he sacked Matt Ryan and forced a fumble, which basically completely turned the game around. And then in Super Bowl 49, he tackled Marshawn Lynch on the 1 yard line. And Marshawn Lynch is not an easy guy to tackle. And what that led up to is them passing on the goal line to Malcolm Butler. So that's a big, important player right there. Then my next guy is Malcolm Jenkins. I'm a huge Malcolm Jenkins fan. I think he's one of the most underrated safeties in the league. I think he could actually play a little bit of man coverage on some of the on some good wide receivers if they're running some sort of blitz package. Also, I seen him go up against one-on-one against Antonio Brown, and I'm just very, very impressed with him this season. I definitely think that his being this kind of low on the list doesn't really give him the credit. My next guy is Kirk Cousins. Now, I'm a huge Kirk Cousins guy. I think that the fact that he doesn't have a long-term contract is absolutely ridiculous, but I think when you look at Kirk Cousins as a whole, he's a legit NFL quarterback. He throws a nice ball, and also I think his personality could take him to the next level and possibly bring a championship to whatever team he plays for. My next guy is Jameis Winston. I'm a huge Jameis Winston guy. My point is fairly similar to a Kirk Cousins because when it comes to this, he's a guy with a phenomenal talent, and I really look at his personality, and I really like what I see. And for a quarterback that has went through all the stuff that he did at FSU, all the legal stuff, he's really turned his life around. I really like to see what it is. And then number 6, I have Andrew Luck. Now the reason why I put Andrew Luck here is when I look at it, how high they put Marcus Mariota and how high they're going to put Drew Brees, I just don't think that's fair for Andrew Luck. And Andrew Luck should be much higher on the list. And the fact is, I think he's better than Drew Brees. So wherever Drew Brees is fit, I'm definitely gonna look at that and think to myself, wow, Luck should be right in that category. And then my last guy for the players that should be higher is Larry Fitzgerald. I'm a huge Larry Fitzgerald guy, and I think he's a really good receiver. In my opinion, he's the third best receiver in the league behind Julio Jones and Antonio Brown. Now, when it comes to the players that should be lower, my next guy is Clay Matthews. Now, Clay Matthews is praised for his versatility as a linebacker, playing so many different positions when it comes to playing as linebacker or the D line. But this year, he was just very disappointed, and I really felt like he just was a little factor on the front seven for the Green Bay Packers. And obviously, if you look at the Green Bay Packers defense, it's back to its crappy ways. Then you have Alex Smith. Alex Smith, yes, he is a game-managing quarterback, and yes, game-managing quarterbacks can be Hall of Fame quarterbacks at times, I get it, but Alex Smith really does not look for the deep ball whatsoever, and I really can't rely on him on a super clutch play. And also, his playoff rating is completely overrated. The teams that he plays for have a lot of talent around him, and the fact that he couldn't get that far with them just shows a lot that he is not that great of a quarterback. My number 3 guy is LeGarrette Blount. LeGarrette Blount definitely led the league in touchdowns this year, but he's a guy that needs a lot of blocking. He's also a guy I really feel that can get shut down at times. Now, I'm a big LeGarrette Blount guy. I really liked him when he was in Tampa Bay. My favorite game with him was when he was facing against the Packers, and this was back in 2011. He definitely pulled a beast mode-esque performance back in 2011. The next guy is Ajayi. Now, Ajayi definitely did have a good season. And what I really say about this is he should be slightly lowered on the list because he's one of these running backs that he will run over against a bad defense, but when it comes to the good defense, he really doesn't do well. And I look at his stat line, I just feel that there's just too many times where he just gets stopped and stuffed and stuffed. There's just way too much, kind of similar to LeGarrette Blount, and he kind of has his moments. I would say Ajayi is better than LeGarrette Blount, but at the same time, though, he's really not that lead of a quarterback or a lead of a halfback, and I really want to see how he will do in 2017. Next guy is Marcus Mariota. Marcus Mariota has a lot of talent around him. And the fact that he hasn't gone to the playoffs really just makes me just kind of confuses me a lot. That why is this guy so high on the list? And also what I don't like about it is Andrew Luck was ranked lower than Marcus Mariota. So same with Jameis Winston. And I really feel that they haven't long on it. And I agree with Colin Coward on his points that Andrew Luck and Jameis Winston are both better than Marcus Mariota. Number 6 guy is Cam Newton. Now, I really like Cam Newton a lot. I think he's a good quarterback, and I think he's going to rebound in 2017. But he really just didn't have a good year whatsoever, and he really just didn't have any clutch plays or anything. And overall, I just think Cam Newton should be a little bit lower on the list and should have been maybe in the 60s or 70s when he came to his ranking in the top 100. Then my number 7 guy is Jarvis Landry. I was upset that Jarvis Landry was higher than Larry Fitzgerald. Now, Jarvis Landry is a good receiver, but the fact where they put Fitzgerald and all that makes me want to put Jarvis Landry a little bit lower. I think he was probably I would say more like a number 60 on the list than being in the 40s and so on. And that is basically my opinion of players that should be higher and lower on the top 100 list. And if you like to give your comments, just please share your thoughts about who are the players that should be higher on your list or players that should be lower on the list. And also, before you leave, I'm going to show you a nice moon shot right here. If I can find the moon. Hold on. Right there. There's the moon right there. All right. Have a good night, fellas.